Good morning. I just spent the evening and this morning with my sparkles, and I'm feeling very sparkly and connected to kids. And so I'm going to do another video on parenting. We're going to call this one Parenting 2. Um, I felt really ill equipped when I found myself pregnant. We planned it. We felt like it was the next step as part of our life evolution was to have children. But the minute I found out I was pregnant, it was like it hit me. Oh my gosh. The responsibility, the gargantuous responsibility of caring for another human being. I still had unfinished business from the past. And I guess when you do, your kids are going to feel the effects of that. I've said it before, we shouldn't use our children as growth stones. With that being said, perhaps we all do it. But when we do it, it does heap unnecessary heaviness on their little growth stories. So I'm reading and I'm growing as a parent and I'm improving, but there would be a situation that would arise over whatever, and my little sparkles would leave the situation feeling depleted, unheard, and then I would feel guilty. And this happened many times over the course of parenting my kids when they lived in my house. I got better. Every time it did happen, I knew that I didn't like hurting them. Why would you ever want to hurt your little guys, So I would read a new book, and the best one, hands down, that I ever read on parenting was Stephen Covey, 7 Highly Effective Habits of the Family or a Family. And my favorite story in the book was about Stephen Covey and his son. His son was elementary age, and the trash cans had blown over, or a critter got in it, or whether there's trash up and down next to the driveway. And Stephen said, "Son, when you get home from school today, I want you to clean up that trash and put it back in the trash can." The little boy said, "Okay." And Stephen said, "My son was, always did what I asked him. He'd never give me any trouble or anything like that, or just said, I'm not going to do it." So when he came home from work that day, he was surprised to still see the litter alongside the driveway. And he thought, you know what, I'm not going to mention it right now, because he's also trying to encourage the child to be his own person and know that he can do something like that in his own time frame. So he didn't say anything. Next day he comes home from work, it's still there. Now he's a little more concerned. So after dinner he said, "Son, I noticed that you didn't pick up the trash alongside the driveways. What's up?" And the boy burst into tears. He's just crying. And Stephen Covey's like, "What is it?" And he said, "It's all gooky and stuff." And then he realized that from the perspective of this child, that stuff had food and, it's cookie. You don't look at things like that when... So Stephen realized that he just needed to help his son. And they went in and they got some rubber gloves and a trash bag. And they went out and they took care of the mess. He just wasn't looking at it from the perspective of a child. He was looking at it as a dad who wasn't being listened to. So that's one of my favorite stories. I've absolutely shared that a million times to different parents. Remember to listen to your children. I don't care how old they are. Look at things Try to look at things through their eyes. Try to remember when you were a child. You must remember your child won't look at you and say, I had a bad day at school today. I had a, encounter with a bully and I'm feeling low. What they will say is, will you play with me? And then when you take the time to sit down, that's when that stuff comes out. You sit down, you're just playing, doing your little thing, and then all of a sudden, it starts to come out. Listen, pay attention, and prepare them for their adult life, because it's our job. Stephen Covey has a lot of things to say on. Eckhart Tolle. His views on parenting as an opportunity not only to guide the children, but also as a deep practice of presence and self-awareness. Here are some of his core insights on parenting. Children as teachers. He often says children are naturally present and living in the now, and parents can learn from their openness and their aliveness. Presence over perfection. Parenting is about doing everything right. It's about being present, attentive, and connected. A child feels loved most when you are fully with them, not distracted with your phone. I've noticed if I pick up my phone and am responding to one of their parents, how they doing? Did they sleep well? Have they pooped? These kinds of things. But if I pick up my phone and start to do that, they don't like that. They really don't like it when you're on the phone. They want to know that you're with them, as you should be. Breaking unconscious cycles. Many parents unconsciously pass down their own pain, fears, and conditioning. Awareness allows you to pause and not repeat what is done to you. Ego and identity. Parents sometimes use children to strengthen their ego. My child must succeed, so it will reflect well on me. He warns that this puts pressure on the child and makes love conditional. True parenting allows the child to be who they are, not who the parent's ego wants them to be. The child's essence. Beneath personality and behavior, there is the child's essence, which is already whole. When a parent sees and affirms that essence, the child grows up rooted in self-worth. Challenges as spiritual practice. Parents will bring up impatience, anger, or frustration. E.T. encourages parents to notice these reactions and not judge themselves, and use them as moments to awaken. In short, parenting according to Tolle is less about teaching and more about being conscious, that conscious presence that allows love, safety, and authenticity to grow. Now, Jesus showed that children are precious in God's eyes, that parents reflect God's love when they care for them, and guiding children with gentleness and humility and love is part of living in the kingdom. Please have a great weekend. Share a little sparkle wherever you go, and all glory goes to God. Thank you, and thanks for listening. Have a great day.